Shalom. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Rahakwadash. Give double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, who well. Peace and blessings to sincere Agim. It's doing his work throughout the earth, doing his thing, true sincerity. I'm going to give a shalom and salutations. And here's this article I found, basically how it says Americans have never been in so much debt. So this is talking about how Americans are in debt when it goes as far as to debt to who? To the international elite bankers, because they're in debt, America, so to speak. So when you're born born as a wage slave. So that's why you have to get a job and go into these plantation-like jobs to work off your debt and pay taxes. So it says here, Americans' households are carrying a record amount of debt as home and auto prices surge. So we've been talking about inflation basically on all spectrums, as far as money, as far as food, auto industry, merchandise industry. All the prices are going up. So it says COVID infections continue to fall. People get out their credit cards again. Between July and September, U.S. household debt climbed to a new record of $15 trillion. At the Federal Reserve Bank of New York said Tuesday it was an increase 1.9 or 286 billion. As pandemic relief efforts wind down, we are beginning to see the reversal of some of the credit card balance trends seen during the pandemic, such as lower spending in favor of the paying down debt balances, said Calhoun. Now that stimulus sugar rush has worn off, customers are going back to their old ways of spending their credit cards. Credit card balances rose to $17 billion, but they're still $123 billion lower in 2019. Mortgages, which are the largest component of household debt, rose by $230 billion. So last quarter totaled $10 trillion. Auto loans and student loan balances also increased by $28 billion and $14 billion, respectively. So high spending surged by even higher inflation. Yeah, so it's going on how things are getting real pricey, and things are getting really strained in here in Babylon in America. So I forgot to mention student loan, which that covers a whole lot of the debt. So and the inflation and all these things that are going on, is done by design. You know, people are saying people are getting caught off guard about these things, but you know, the prophets have been telling you these day was gonna come, and the international bankers even have the agenda set up this way as well. So, you know, this is nothing surprising, so to speak, but still, nonetheless, it is doing damage. So, you know, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we don't really learn about finances, and we don't learn how to balance balance a checkbook and things like that in our nation. We learn as we go, and a lot of times we learn when we we get older and stuff like that through trial and error. So, these things, a lot of these economic problems and things like that, the heathen nations worry about because they want to they want to continue to thrive here. I'm gonna get this scripture in Ecclesiasticus 10:8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So, stock market, Wall Street, New York is all set up off the backs of so-called Negroes, off the backs of our hard labor, and through chattel slavery and free labor. So that's where all this blood money comes from. That's where America gets to stride how they got their foot in the door as being a superpower for the children of Israel. Okay, so that's something that they don't like to talk about. Nevertheless, it's true. So they built this place up, and that's part of the reason they're getting zipped right now. The Lord is punishing them. This is Ecclesiastes 7:12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. So money is a defense. So having enough, shekels, you may fall in a rut where you don't have shekels for the most part, but then things change. So in this society, you do need shekels, for yourself, for the body, to help out the body, the ministry, and so on and so forth. And whether you have a family or, you have to do what you have to do. But things are getting strenuous, and people are getting laid off. And like I said, they're pulling out. People are going into credit cards, and people are going into their 401k and their savings account because prices of things are changing. This is Proverbs 22:16. Proverbs 22:16. He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. So Esau, Edom, he oppresses the poor, and the poor are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Y'all are considered the poor. We are considered the poor here, living paycheck to paycheck. Low-income housing, food stamps, barely making it. On good times, it said, scraping and surviving. So, that's what we're accustomed to. Esau studied us, and he's gotten that knowledge of us, so he knows us to breadcrumb us. He can give us these little dainties and things. A lot of them are given to the women of our nation, to keep them satisfied. They can have children and receive benefits, scholarships, and FAFSA money and stuff, financial aid money, things like that. Like scripture say, he does a diligent search, and he knows what we like. Jake likes name brand stuff and the best of the best. So Jake is always in that rat race to try to look like something and not really have something. And this is let me see. Because real riches is equity, like land, animals, even women, can help you build up an empire of wealth. But now we're seeing here a closing to everything. Gas prices going up, all these things, and it's just the beginning of let me see. This is just beginning of sorrows. This is 1 Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, for which some coveted after they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through the many sorrows. You have even some Israelites who say they believe in how in this truth in the Lord, and read the scriptures, but they love money. Nothing wrong with it, but they love it, and it turns you evil. Making merchandise, selling breakdowns, and selling merchandise off of this truth, because we were given this truth freely, and that's how we do. But and they for some reason they think that's going to save them in them days, but it's not. Them days is coming. Esau's going to be giving out, so-called white man's going to be giving out incentives when they exchange this money to be digital. They're going to be giving out things for you to. First, they're going to hand it out like an incentive until it's mandatory, like he did with the jab. We know his game plan. So I'm just finding out about credit scores and stuff like that. You got to build up a whole damn credit score, man. Shit takes years, man. Esau gets a start when he's in high school, and he inheritance, a lot of these FRN notes, so they're well off, because this is their hub, this is their kingdom. America is. This is Matthew 6:19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth or rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So, it can turn you into an evil, shiesty individual when you chase after the bag. You know what I'm saying? And that's the motto of our people right now. That's the motto. A lot of them do it because they just love it in their hands. They just love it, the feel of it. They like it that it attracts people and women. But guess what? If you win a lottery, or if you come across a lot of money, you can get that took from you real quick, because that's where you lay your heart to. It's exchange. That's what it's supposed to do. Exchange. You get it and it goes, and you get it and it goes. It flows. A lot of people just save up their money and I ain't spending nothing. You're supposed to spend it, man. Spend it on. That's what we do here. Spend it on each other. Spend it on things that are gonna help the body of this ministry. You know what I'm saying? I was about to say tithes and offerings, or charity. I meant to say charity. That's what I wanted to say. So, Lord is edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rachakwadash, divine to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom.